What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be taking a look at how you can arrange your beats in 2021. So let's get right into this. Alright, so we're going to be using this beat. But we gotta drag everything out really quick, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm quickly gonna chop up this melody. I'm gonna use these different sections here. This is pretty much one section. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and copy these over a couple times. And then we can start getting this thing going. So obviously at first, we're just gonna have a little bit of an intro. So all that's gonna be playing is our melody. So what we're gonna be doing differently than normally what we do is normally we would just come everything in right at the beginning, but we're gonna take out the kick and we're gonna take out the open hi-hats. So it's just going to be the normal drums playing, and then the kick and the open hi-hats are going to come in. So this is going to give that second part of the drop that extra bounce. So let's listen to this really quick and see how it's going. That actually sounds really good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this part back over. And it's going to lead into our drop once again. So we're just getting a simple outline, and then we're going to go ahead and chop it up and make it even better later. So we're going to copy that all over. The same exact thing. Let's copy these over as well. So now we have like a mini little beat ready to go here. Now we can kind of add and take away some things to make it a little bit better. So let's see. Now I think what I want to do is for this third part of the drop right here, I want to kind of take everything out and let the melody kind of go by itself. So let's pull everything back a little bit here. And the hi-hat, we might have that come in a little bit earlier than everything else because that always sounds really good. Take one more, let's see. Yeah. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna delete this whole section and we're just gonna copy over this now since we have this in. The next thing I wanna look at is taking out the snare. I wanna take out the snare at first, and then I want to bring it back in. So maybe something like this. Let's see how this is going to sound though. Cool, so we'll do that to the second one as well. And that's just, it's gonna give us a little bit of a counter so that the beat has something to play on. But it's when the snare comes in at that second part, it's gonna hit so much harder and it's gonna make that next part of the drop come in way better. What you wanna focus on doing is try to make each part of the drop a little bit different from the next. So you can see with this part of the drop, we don't have all of our percussion, or we don't have all of our drums in here. Then we bring everything back in here. But in this third part, we're actually going to take everything out for a little bit and then bring it back in. So everything's doing a little bit different. And the melody is constantly changing up as well, except for these first big ones here. So now let's get into the spicy stuff, adding that extra little grit in it to make it your own. First, what I'm gonna do is just throw my tag in here because, you know, you gotta do that. And let's see, I usually like to put it pretty close to the beginning. Yeah, like right here is like where I like to put it.
Feel this, run it up.
Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some transitions and some risers and stuff like that to make the drops and the transitions in the drops more exciting. I'm first gonna put a little reverse kick in here for the very end of this. And a couple people have been asking, there's a loud blip at the end of this because that's where the kick first starts. So if you don't want to have that loud little blip, what you can do is you can do what I'm doing right here and just chop off that little last bit, and it'll be more of a smooth transition. And what I'm going to do is actually cut the melody out a little bit too. Perfect. But we're not going to leave just that. We're going to put a little bit of a riser with it. And we'll line it up so that it sounds good because we don't want it to completely cut out this little kick that we're doing. So we're going to have it dim out right before. Well, actually, let's see how this sounds first. We're going to turn this down quite a bit. Alright, so we might turn that back up a little bit more. So what I'm going to do really quick is copy this over to the second part because we're going to do the same exact thing over here. Pull that back. And then we'll just take this right here and copy it over. And now we're going to go in and find one last transition that we can go in between the drops with. Okay, and since this part right here is we're leaving the melody to do its thing right here, we're not going to put a transition there because we're going to leave the melody and let that do its part. So we'll just put the transition before the beast part of the drop comes in where all the drums are playing. So we'll put this somewhere like right here. Okay, so now we have two pieces here. We have this piece, and this is the same exact piece right here. So you could just copy this over another time if you wanted it to be around 3 minutes. And this is all we're gonna do for this tutorial because I wanna keep it really simple so that everyone can follow through. But if you want to take this a step further, you could even switch up some of these parts and make it different from this. So it's not the same exact drops every time. Maybe you add in a different percussion sound in this second section. Or maybe you decide to put one of these up an octave so that your melody is switching up. So there's a lot of different things that you can do here. You could also put different effects on your melodies. You could switch up your 808 patterns. You could even use a different 808. The possibilities are literally endless. So you can just go crazy with this. So let's take a quick listen to everything that we've done so far and wrap this up.
Feel this, run it up.
Alright guys, so that's how you arrange your beats in 2021. It's important to add these little transitions and things like that. You don't have to make them super loud. They can be quiet, but just loud enough so that you hear it and it lets that drop hit so much harder when it's coming in. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we're uploading daily videos that you're not going to want to miss out on. And besides that, I'll be catching you guys again in the next one. Peace out.